So I'm James Lewis. I'm the general manager here at Roebuck Golf Course. I've been with the course going on 5 years. Really fun job. You get to meet a lot of people and do a lot of things. When I first came out here, funny thing, I used to play golf every day that I came out here. Then I realized that I had work to do. And I've been working ever since. But it's an ongoing thing that, it's constantly changing and evolving, and you're coming up with new ideas and things to do with a traditional sport like golf. So the course was founded in 1911. We're the second oldest golf course in Alabama. Highland is the oldest course here in Birmingham. We're the second. As I said, in 1911, the smog was so bad in downtown Birmingham because of the steel plants, slosh furnace, things like that, that everyone moved out here. This was the original suburbs. It was out here in Roebuck. They created the community across the interstate from us, and the Model T was just starting to come out. So originally, the building that we're sitting in is a cinder block building, but originally it was a wooden clubhouse facing out towards the bottom parking lot behind me. It was just designed so that people could get out from the smog, and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. There was no EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, so there was no control over how to burn off the smog or anything like that, like we have control today. So this was built originally as Roebuck Country Club in 1911, and then around 1915, somewhere in there, they changed it over to Roebuck Automobile Country Club because they started, having vehicles. Like I say, in the bottom lot, when this was a wooden country club house, they had a swimming pool down in the lower lot, and that's where all the kids would go swimming that lived in the neighborhood across the street. It was a spring-fed swimming pool. They just basically dug a trench underground to pump water into the swimming pool, so it was constantly circulating. So they didn't have to have pumps to keep the water circulating and clean. We've had people throughout history to come and play here. And one of the stories I like to talk about is Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth played out here. There was a guy, Samuel Bird. He lived on 85th Street and First Avenue North, which is right down the street from here. And he played baseball with Babe Ruth. So he would ask the baseball players to come to Birmingham and play at Roebuck Golf Course. Well, as I mentioned, Bobby Jones lived in Georgia, but he used to come out here and play. And one day, a group of guys, Samuel Bird, Babe Ruth, and Bobby Jones were in the group of players that were playing. And Babe Ruth actually taught Samuel Bird and Bob Jones how to play golf. He told them, this is baseball, this is golf. He said, keep this tight and you'll be good at both. We actually have the story about that in a book in the cabinet up front. Bobby Bowden, and he could play any place he wanted to play in the world, but he chose to come to Birmingham and play at Roebuck. He actually would have a tournament here the week after Father's Day. And he did it once a year. And this room that we're in now is our bar area. On the walls around here, we have pictures of him as he was coaching. And after he retired from Florida, he actually was offered to come and coach at Alabama. And he agreed to it. He said, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. And they told him, okay, well, you need to come in for an interview. And he did kind of the same thing. He said, here's my interview, all these championship rings. And, well, that didn't go over well. And that's why he wound up not getting the job at Alabama. But still, he was a great coach and very successful man. And he came out here, and we honored him by dedicating this room in his name. People enjoy coming out, and we developed a name called Roegusta. We've had a lot of people who come out and said, man, y'all's golf course is in such good shape, it's almost as good as Augusta. But we're Roebuck, so we developed the name Roegusta. And we had this bar going as the Roegusta Sports Bar in the Bobby Bowden room, located in the Bobby Bowden room. Across the hall where we have our virtual golf, we have that room dedicated to the Vulcan Group. The Vulcan Group is a group of guys that play in Birmingham, and during segregation, they were told that they could not play at these public golf courses. And the guys said, well, because we're black, I mean, that doesn't matter. We can play at any public golf course we want to. And at the time, the people running the city said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just close down the golf courses. And they closed down Highland and they closed down Roebuck. So these guys had to drive to Huntsville to play golf. Well, they still play out here now to this day. And we dedicated that room to them. They're the Vulcans. And they are a group of guys that enjoy playing golf, and they've raised money to help buy children, underprivileged kids buy backpacks or do fundraisers for them to be able to take field trips in school and things like that. So they're another good group that we have out here. But we've got another group. These guys are just friends that used to come out here and ride bicycles and get run off of the golf course when they were little kids in elementary school. Well, now all these guys are retired and they're in their 60s, but they still come out as a group to play. So once you come out and play, you'll see that it's a really fun course. We have those tall pine trees, and they're wide apart. Losing a golf ball out here, it's kind of hard. Our roughs are not really ankle-high rough, so you can find your ball pretty easily in the rough. The fairways they roll very well, and they're low. And like I said, even the tee boxes and the greens are really good. The greens roll, and you'll have fun throughout the rest of the course, especially as you're riding and looking at all the history that we have out here. Very fun place to be. Yeah, it's been here for quite a while. A lot of history out here. Fun place to be.